ba'du. So inshallah, today we'll start with Surah Taha. Surah Taha in order is after the Surah Maryam. And these two surah very interesting, have connection with Maryam, of course, with the Christian, and Taha have connection with the Jews, because we will see most of the surah talking about Prophet Musa, alayhi salam, right? And also the Arab, they're familiar with Musa, alayhi salam, because they have interact with the people of the book at the time, right? So let me recite few ayah from the surah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على العرش استوى له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وما بينهما وما تحت الثرى وإن تجهر بالقول فإنه يعلم السر وأخفى الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى. Right? So let's read the theme of this surah.
The subject matter of the surah is to assure the Prophet and his followers that the message of the Quran will eventually succeed. The story of Prophet Moses is mentioned in detail. Then it is mentioned how the enemies of Islam are opposing it and what will be the consequences of this opposition for them.
Yeah. So that's the subject. It's talk about the Quran in the beginning, that Quran was came down to make you successful in this life, next life. And the second one, Allah going to talk about Musa, because have connection how Musa's people reaction to Muhammad, to Musa alayhi salam, and also the same with the Quraysh to Muhammad alayhi salam. طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى.
We have not sent down the Quran unto you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to cause you distress. These opening verses give the surah a tender start, beginning with two letter sounds, Taha, to indicate that this surah, like the entire Quran, is made up of letters from the Arabic alphabet, as we have explained in earlier volumes. The two letters chosen here have the same sound ending as the verses of the surah.
Yeah, as we almost mentioned before, nobody know about what it means. Alif, Lam, Mim, Ha, Mim, Sa. The only Allah knows, right? Even there's an effort to describe what this means, right? Like sometimes an Alif, Lam, Mim. Alif mean Allah, Lam mean Jibril, and Mim is Muhammad. So Quran come from Allah to Jibril to Muhammad. This could be, right? And Toha, he said, is one of the name of Muhammad, like Yasin. Because if you look at the sentence, Ma anzalna alayka, we have not sent down the Quran unto you. So who? Toha. Right? Right. Or Toha mean he is sinless. Toha from Tohir mean clean from the sin. And then he guide people, to the right path, as could be, right? But some very interesting, I was reading, he said the word Toha, if you look at that, is like the snake stand up, because that have connection also with the story of Musa, because he said that Arabic transcript have effect influenced by the hieroglyphic of the Pharaoh. When you go to Egypt, you see the hieroglyphic in the wall, right? Yeah. But also, of course, also it means that the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to say that look, you know, the same letter that you have from Alif until Ya, can you produce like the Quran? Right? So after Allah mentioned that and said, Ma anzalna, we have not sent down the Quran. We mentioned also the word anzalna, sometimes the word in Arabic called nazala and anzala. Have alif and without alif. Everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the word with alif, that means Allah talked about the whole Quran. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. In the name of the power, it's not one surah, it's the whole Quran. Allah was sent down from the Lawh Mahfud into the first heaven. Like when he said Nazala, that means Allah talk about one surah, few ayat. So we have not sent down the Quran litashqa, to cause you distress. Right? So that means if what the opposite of distress is what? Happiness. Right? Allah SWT said, Muhammad, tell people that I send down Quran to you is to make people happy. So that means Quran is the key of happiness, right? Because with the Quran, we know who am I, why are we here, where are we going from here, right? And many things. Right? And the word in Arabic called the tashqa, shaqawa. Shaqawa opposite sa'ada. Some ulama describe said the one who used the word is Abu Jahl, Walid, came to Rasulullah. Hey Muhammad, why you make your life distress, difficult? You know, because what you're doing now. Stop what you're doing, man. Everybody know boycott you, against you. Right? So Allah said, Muhammad, right? I send Quran not to make you suffer or people suffer, to make you what? Happy. Right? إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى.
but only as a reminder to those who fear Allah. Nor did we reveal this Quran so that you would become distressed when people refuse to accept it as divine revelation. You are not required to force them to faith, nor to overstretch yourself in trying to convince them of the truth of your message. This Quran is bestowed from on high to you as a reminder and a warning, but only as an admonition to the God fearing. Verse 3.
So illa, except, so Quran, you know, not to make you distressed, make you have miserable life, but as what? Tadkira, reminder. You know, when you said reminder, that means what? That was there. That's in your mind, but you need to remind again, right? For example, Cameron, can you remind me tomorrow? Maybe I forgot, right? Remind. Why is it? It's a fitrah. Because in deep on you, you have a fitrah that Allah put in us. So the Quran just tried to bring back, to make your fitrah right. Because your fitrah, you believe there's only one God, right? Your fitrah that honesty is right, justice is good, right? But liman yakhsha, liman, right? To those who fear Allah. Khashya, there's two words in Arabic, khawf and khashya. Khawf, like you fear lion, you feel maybe you lost your job. But khashya, you fear because you know his greatness. You know, sometimes we see people, like somebody, he heard a lot about Muhammad, a Bedouin. So when he saw Muhammad the first time, he was shaking like this. Is Muhammad? Oh, wow. Right? And Muhammad said, take it easy, man. I'm only the son of the woman who used to eat the dry meat. What put humble, right? So when you say, oh, and this is very important also. One of the problem that the Muslim easy to commit sin, easy to abandon salah, right? Because there's no khosyah. They believe in God, they believe, you know, in the day of judgment, but the khosyah is not come to their hearts, right? when the khashya is there, like I remember I mentioned many stories about Abdullah bin Umar. He went to the village and he saw a shepherd, with his cattle. And he asked him, "Can I buy one of your lamb?" I said, "I'm sorry, it's not mine. Belong to my master." "Oh, don't worry, man. Just tell him a wolf came and took one of the." But look at what the boy said. Look at the khashya. He said, "Yeah, but fa'ain Allah. Where is Allah? I can cheat my master, but I can cheat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." There's a khashya. So therefore, one of the dua of Muhammad sallallahu Allahumma qsim lana min khashyatika ma ta'hulu baini wa baina ma'siyatik. Allah give me just part of the khashya, so can prevent me from doing the sin, right? So it means Quran only beneficial, or give benefit to the one who have what? Khashya. No khashya. Didn't care. How many Muslims still dealing with the riba interest? Dealing with something they're supposed to. Why? It's not khashya. Yeah. And to do khashya is you have also to use your mind. Because when you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then like people, for example, if we have a student, they study from the first year from the beginning. Why? Because he have khashya, worry, he felt, right? So he studies seriously. Yeah. تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات الأولى.
A revelation from Him, Allah, who has created the earth and high heavens. When God's messenger gives us such an admonition, reminding people of God and warning them against disbelief and disobedience of God's orders, his mission is fulfilled. God's messenger is not required to open sealed hearts, nor is it his task to overpower minds and souls. This can only be done by God, who has bestowed this Quran from on high.
Yeah, so the Quran said this is Tanzilan, was revealed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who created, very interesting, he said, Al-Ardo, the earth. The Quran always talk about seven heaven first and then the earth, right? خلق السماوات والأرض. Right? But here, Allah talk about the earth first. Right? Because this Quran in the beginning was addressing the Quraysh. Earth means represent of dunya. This word. Okay. Sorry, there was disconnected. Yeah. Can you hear me, Sean?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Good.
Oh,
Yeah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned here the earth and then the heaven, right? So the earth because we live here. And also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to reflect, the earth with everything that they have. And then the heaven, we have million of galaxies and all things. And you never reflect that, right? Oh, I cannot. Just a second, I have problem to bring back the, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good. Okay. له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وما بينهما وما تحت الثرى.
To him belongs all that is in the heavens and all that is on earth, and all that is between them, and all that is under the soil. The one who bestowed the Quran from on high and created the earth and the high heavens is God, the most merciful. This shows that the revelation of the Quran is a universal phenomenon, like the creation of the heavens and earth. Uh, hence, he has not given it.
Sorry, sir.
Hence,
Are you
he
okay,
has
sir?
not given it to his servant Muhammad to cause him distress. His attribute of limitless grace is highlighted here to emphasize this. Besides, he is the one in control of the whole universe, God, the most merciful, established on the throne of his almightiness.
Yeah, okay. Allah, the creator of the heaven and the earth, but did he own it? Allah said that lahu, lahu, to him belongs, Allah, right? So therefore, why when we lost something, somebody died or we lost something, what is it? Inna lillah. We belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just imagine it said lahu ma, belong to him whatever. You know what whatever means? Allah. That means what? We don't own nothing. So whatever in the heaven and whatever on the earth is belong to Allah in between also. Right? Uh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is the one who owns. He free whatever he can do because he's the owner. Right? And also, he Allah adds something. وَمَا تَحْتَ الثَّرَى, under the soil. Subhanallah, mine. You know, during this time, Abu Jahl no clue. Because even in Saudi Arabia, 100 years ago, they know there's oil there. Nobody want to go there, just only for Makkah and Medina. Right? So now under the ground, we have many things, right? Asphalt, we have oil, mine, and many things. People become rich because of the sources of the earth, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, hey, all this belong to me. And after all this, you don't want to worship me? So Allah here tried to bring the Quraysh to reflect about things that they see around them. Man never reflects. Okay, you don't believe Muhammad is okay. No, I want you to invite you to look around you, right? وإن تجهر بالقول فإنه يعلم السر وأخفى.
And if you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, speak the invocation aloud, then verily he knows the secret and that which is yet more hidden. This address provides the Prophet with reassurance, comfort, and knowledge that God listens to him. He does not leave him alone to feel distressed by his task of delivering the message of the Quran or facing the unbelievers alone without support. If the Prophet appeals to his Lord aloud, he should know that God knows all secrets and what is buried deeper than secrets.
وإن تجهر, that means if you call Allah with out loud, right? Or what you call silently. So this can be you make dua, even just in your heart, or you say out loud, Allah knows. Or maybe you was whispering to somebody and talk about somebody else. Allah knows. Right? So this is what we call sir. Sir means secret. But then he said, wa akhfa, and more hidden. What do you mean? Secret, I have something, I tell you, Kamran. Okay? So it's secret because only you and me know, right? But akhfa, that means nobody know except yourself, your wife, your children, FBI, CIA. Until you die, you'll discover it. Allah knows. Allah knows. So don't think, Allah, alhamdulillah. Nobody, I have a secret, nobody knows. Right? So therefore, I mentioned last time, very interesting story. After the Battle of Badr, one of men, his son was captured, became prisoner of war, and many of his family. So we're sitting alone in front of Kaaba. He said, if not because, I have a lot of debt and I have family, I will go to Medina and kill Muhammad. There's a rich man behind him, his name is Safwan. He said, he told him like this, don't worry. If has something happened to you, I'll pay your debts and take care of the family. Just go Medina. She went to Medina, right? When he arrived in Medina, Umar bin Khattab, he had like six sense. He can smell it. Oh, this man wants to do something bad. He don't know. So he captured him, tie him, and Rasulullah, Umar is here. Right? Rasulullah, he said, Umar, untie him. Give him water, give him food. So after finish eating, Rasulullah approached him. Rasulullah approached him. Rasulullah approached him. Yeah. So, yeah. It's okay. Wait, in my room. I will take it. It's okay. So, and then Rasulullah said, hey, Umar, what brought you here? Oh, Prophet. I said, oh, Muhammad, I want you just to pay ransom. I want to bring back my son and my family. He said, how about that knife was poison knife? Oh, prophets, what kind of knife this? If this knife good, I can defeat you in Badr. Nothing. And then he said, remember 2 weeks ago, he was in front of the Kaaba. And Rasulullah repeated, what did he say? If not because of my deaths in my family, I will come and kill Muhammad. And Umar like this. Ashhadu wa annaka Rasul. Immediately. Because there's no internet, no Wi-Fi, right? Nothing. How did Muhammad know that? Safwan, on the other side, he was make announcement every day. The Quraysh, I'm going to give you breaking news, very good news. You'll be happy, no more problem. Right? So every time people come from Medina, they always stop it. Any news? I say, what news? What do you know? Right? Until one night, after maybe 2 weeks, he was almost sleeping off the door. And Umar was there. Umar, did you kill him? I said, man, he's a prophet. What? Subhanallah. Right? In there, he able to convince Safwan become Muslim. This, only Allah knows. Right? Secret. الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى.
Allah, la ilaha illa huwa. None has the right to be worshipped but He. To Him belong the best names. The Arabic term husna, rendered here as perfection, is specially selected to contribute to the rhythm while also adding to the general ambience of grace and care, which is characteristic of the whole surah and of its opening in particular.
So this is the message that was brought by all the prophets. Allah, la ilaha illa hu. Right? Muhammad said, the best what the prophet before me said, and I is Allahu la ilaha illa hu. Right? The hadith said when people, if somebody die and he said his word, he go to Jannah. Right? And then he added, Lahu, Allah belong to Allah, Asma'ul Husna, his beautiful name. Right? As we know, we have 99 Allah names, right? And Allah SWT asked us to call him, right? Right? Qul Allah awil Rahman. Call me Allah or Ar-Rahman. Ayyama tadu. Whatever name you call me, right? I'll be in your service, something like that. And Allah give also name is for us to use them accordingly. Now, for example, I'm looking for a job. What do you call? Ya Razak, Ya Razak, Rizqni. I'm sick. Ya Shafi, Ya Shafi. Right? I'm in trouble. Somebody want to harm you. You can say Ya Hafi, Ya Mughith. Right? And also teach us when we study Allah names, that means you put trust in this name. If I say Ya Hakim, the wise, that means we believe that everything that Allah SWT give us, decide for us, is there's wisdom behind it. When he said Ya Razzaq, you believe that only him can provide us. Right? When he said Ya Shafi, you believe that he only can cure. Because sometimes, oh man, I went to Dr. Smith, Dr. David, John, not happen. Then I went to Dr. Clinton, I'm okay. not again, Allah SWT, right? And Allah loves that when you call him by using his name. So it is good. Rasulullah used to call his name and then he asked. For example, something, Allahumma ya Rahman ya Allah, ya Rahim ya Allah, ya Malik ya Allah, ya Aziz ya Allah, ya Ghafur ya Allah. So you Ghafur, forgiver. Faghfir lana dhunubana. Right? There is a dua with Allah's name. Everything you do with name, and there is what you ask after that. It's beautiful, right? Yeah. How about Allah? Like, Allah also have Jabbar, very powerful. Allah Al-Mani, the one who stopped, didn't give you money. The one, so Allah all have two names, Mu'ti, who give, and also who withhold, right? So even that name is beautiful name. Because something Allah withhold, Allah didn't give you to give something better, right? Or to prevent you from something, right? So, وَهَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ مُوسَى.
And has there come to you the story of Moses? Now God begins to tell his messenger, Muhammad, the story of Moses as an example of the care he takes of those whom he chooses to hear his message. Accounts of Moses are more frequent in the Quran than those of all the other messengers. This history is given in the Quran in episodes, each of which fits perfectly with the general theme of the surah in which it occurs.
So then now Allah, after describe about who is Allah, the heaven and the earth belong to Allah, and everything what is contained, right? And then Allah have beautiful name, and then he switched to the story of Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam by name, I think, mentioned about 113 times in the Quran. The most prophet was mentioned in 75 surah, right? And in this ayah, right, you will see Allah SWT mentioned in the middle, not when he was baby, right, and through the ocean. You will see that. He said, Hal ataka, and has there come to you hadith. Hadith mean like news, right, of Musa. So he said to you, Muhammad, right? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it? Hey Muhammad, do you know the story of Musa? Why you ask question? Allah no Muhammad didn't know, right? In Arabic said this is to attract you, tashweek. You know something we said, Cameron, do you know what happened to Zach? I said, what happened? Right? So it is very important that in order to let people pay attention, right, you have to start by question. Right? I have to, and Rasulullah SAW, even if you read the hadith, Rasulullah sometimes asked many questions. Once he said, Atadruna manil muflis? Do you know who's bankrupt one? Bankrupt, yeah, people who are rich and then become poor. I said, no. Right? Then he answered many questions. So the Quran used that one a lot. To let people pay attention. Like even the Quran. Inna anzalnahu fi wama adro. Do you know what? Maybe you sleep before, right? So you wake up. Oh, okay. What was that? Right? So, as we know that Musa alayhi salam, he was grew up in the palace with Firaun, right? And then during the whole time, most Firaun they are sleeping, they take naps. So Musa he went out and he saw Egyptian and the one of his people, and so he was fighting, right? So Musa tried to, hey, don't fight, man, and push. But he was pushed a little bit hard, this Egyptian, and died, right? So when Firaun know, Musa become wanted. Somebody told him he had to leave. So Musa left. He didn't know where, but he asked Allah, Allah guide me. Walk until he reached the city called Madian, and he found the two women. Right? We talk about that inshallah next step. The woman, and then in the end, you know, he stayed there. He got the green card, right? He stayed there. He married one of the women, and the mahar was he had to work for 10 years, right? So after 10 years, Musa, of course, missed his mother, his brother Harun. So he had to go back to Egypt. But of course, 10 years, on that time there's no road, no GPS, so he got lost, right? So that's the summary. So here it said, إذ رأى نارا فقال لأهلهم كثوا إني آنست نارا لعلي آتيكم منها بقبس أو أجد على النار هدى.
And he saw a fire and said to his family, Stay here. Indeed, I have perceived the fire. Perhaps I can bring you a torch or find at the fire some guidance. Thus we see Moses on his way back to Egypt, losing his way in the desert, accompanied only by his wife and perhaps a servant. He loses his way in the darkness of the night in the open desert. We sense this from the way he says to his companions.
No, the weather, I think it was cold, right? Maybe they need food and they get lost, right? Now suddenly he see he saw the fire. No, he and his wife and servant and the baby. When you are with people and you see the fire in the hill, who can see the fire? Everybody can see the fire, right? But here he said, Inni I am anastu. I saw the fire, right? Now, why is it? It's a two possibility. The fire like come out and turn off. So Musa saw it, and maybe his wife was right. A second one, maybe Allah only saw the fire to Musa alayhi salam. Possibility, right? So he said to his wife, you stay here. Now, Musa's wife is good wife from village, right? Now imagine if no, you talk to your wife and you said, honey, you stay here, okay? I said, what? You crazy? Right? His wife just, okay, you go. Right? What for? He said, لَعَلِّي آتِيكُ مِنْهَا بِقَبَسٍ. So maybe I can bring some of the fire, like a torch. Right? أَوْ أَجِدُ عَلَى النَّارِ هُدًى. I will find On the fire, guided. Subhanallah, look at the word guided. It means if there is fires, be what? There is people there. If there's people there, so we can ask what direction to Egypt, right? But there's physical guidance. But it's like dua, guidance. Allah now will give him what? Spiritual guidance. Subhanallah. So both he will get. Right? Yeah. Subhanallah. فَلَمَّا آتَاهَا نُودِيَ يَا مُوسَى.
And when he came to it, the fire, he was called by name, O Musa, Moses. Moses saw the fire as he was walking through the desert, and he was warmed by hope. He moved towards it in order to fetch a firebrand, as night in the desert is normally cold. He also felt he might find some guidance as to which direction to travel in. He went there to bring back a torch, but was in for a great surprise, for he found the fire that warms souls and spirits and provides guidance for the greatest journey of all.
Very interesting. So Musa, he said, Musa, he saw a fire on the tree, very bright fire. But the fire did not affect the color of the trees, the leaves. You know, if there's fire, how look like will be the tree? Not green, will be like, right, affected. But he said, the fire is fire, and the green color don't change, and also surrounded, right? What's the purpose there? So Allah want to give him hint to Musa, hey, this is something not you expected, but you have to be ready. So therefore, why he used the word here, anastu. Anas means you feel comfortable. You see the fire, you something fire, I'm scared. No, Allah make him like he feel comfortable, right? That's number one. Number two, imagine you are there, right? And then somebody call your name. What happened? Huh? Kamran? Kamran? You feel a little bit, you said, hey, who's that? Right? Why are you here? You're scared when you run. Just wait a minute, do you know my name? How do you know my name? No, know my name. Right? So Musa, right? So that's he feeling a little bit comfortable because it should be what? That he know me, or I know him also, but where is the voice come from? Right? Inni ana rabbuk fakhla'na alayka innaka bilwadi al-muqaddasi tuwa.
Verily, I am your Lord. So take off your shoes. You are in the sacred valley of Tuwa. There was simply an address of a certain nature and went received accordingly. You are in the presence of God Almighty. So take off your shoes. You must not step with your shoes in the valley over which God's presence is made.
Subhanallah. Inni, I am. Very interesting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when talk about his essence, his that, he always use the word, what you call I. But when you talk about his action, he always said we. Like we send down the Quran, we created, because there's action. But you talk about himself or talk about worship, he always said I. Right? Why? Because action, this could be somebody else involved. We send down Quran, Jibril involved, right? Right? We created man, female, mean Adam and Eve. So all this have involved. But when it comes to about himself, he said Ana. Right? Inni ana rabbuk. Indeed, I am your Lord. When he said Inni ana Allah, it is Allah. Because Rabb have connection with tarbiyah, education. Right? When he said Rabb, oh Allah, you're the one who take care of me, provide me, protect me, fulfill what I need. It's like, when your mom call you, you feel something, oh, my mom, the one who did this, right? But when he said Allah is connection only one thing, the one who give you command, the one worthy you worship is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to Musa, Rabbuk. right? Oh, no. So now Musa can imagine that he said, he know my name. The one who called me is, oh, no. Fakhla, like, take off your shoes, right? Because you are in the holy place. You know, very interesting. The one who practice this now only Muslim. You go any temple and church, they take off the shoes, right? Many Europeans, they study when they went to Syria and they learn many things because he said, even you go to the house in our Muslim, you didn't have the shoes have to be outside. And they found out, you know, when you bring the shoes inside, they carry a lot of disease, a lot of people sickness because of that. Subhanallah. Right? The only holy place that is protected, no shoes, is Islam. Islam. Right? Another spiritual meaning that means Allah SWT asked Musa to give up of dunya. You are in my presence now. No, I want you, falas. Dunya to be not in your mind. Your wife, your children, right? Because you're going to meet me now. In order to be focused, you have to ikhla. Right? Man, you have what? To take off the dunya. Like we say, I said, Allah, that's supposed to be, right? وَأَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ فَاسْتَمِعْ لِمَا يُوحَى.
And I have chosen you, so listen to that which is inspired to you. Whatever honor is granted to the man chosen directly by God, Moses is, after all, merely one servant among the great multitude living on a planet that is no longer more than a small particle in a much larger group. Yet this group is merely a small particle in the great universe. This universe came into existence when God willed it to exist. We can thus imagine the great care God has taken of man.
Yeah. وَأَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ. In Arabic, ikhtara from the word khair, good, right? So I choose you because you are good. Even in one narration that Allah one day talked to Musa, Musa, do you know why I call you Kalimullah? I don't know. Because I never find in your heart even small seed of arrogance. Musa very humble. Right? Allah. وَأَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ. And then he said, Fastami. In Arabic, that's called Sami'a, mean hear. Fastami mean listen. Here, you walk for example on the market, you hear the voice and all this. How you was watching TV, but do you think that you really hear it, or just the voice come, right? But when you go say fastami, that means not only here you have to pay attention, you have to focus, right? So therefore, وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ فَاسْتَمِعُوا, not fasma'u. When the Quran was recited, you have to be what? Pay attention. It is very sad something. Something people ride the car and turn on the Quran and talking. So Quran become like music, like background. One time I went to Muslim store and was Quran good. Because I asked them, brother, can you stop it? Brother, you don't like Quran? I said, no, look at everybody talking. Allah talking and nobody respect Allah's word. And the Quran said, Fastami'u. You listen, either you listen or don't. Look, now because you put Allah's word like music behind it, right? So something even drive the car and the brother was talking. He said, turn off the Quran, right? He said, I choose you, O Musa, and listen. Lima yuha, what I'm going to give you, wahyu. The word Arabic wahyu means revelation, right? But the word wahyu in Arabic can be inspiration. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired the mother of Musa alayhi salam, inspired the bee, like this. But when it comes to the prophet, that means this is revelation. Allah is going to give to them. إنني أنا الله لا إله إلا أنا فاعبدني وأقم الصلاة لذكري.
Indeed, I am Allah. There is no deity except me. So worship me and establish prayer for my remembrance. This brief revelation sums up three crucial aspects of the divine faith: belief in God's oneness, addressing all worship to Him alone, and belief in the last hour. These are the foundation of God's message that remain the same throughout human history.
No, Allah changed, not Rob. He said, Innani I am, Ana I am. Indeed, mean no doubt, I am Allah. Use the word Allah, not Rob. Why is it? Because Allah going to give you command. Right? Innani ana Allah, la ilaha illa ana. Look like this, the first revelation to Muhammad, Iqra, right? Read. So the first revelation to Musa is, I am a God. There's no God but me. Why is it? Because Allah is going to send him to someone who claims he is God. Fir'aun. Look at connection. Right? Hey, tell Fir'aun, who said, Ana rabbukum ala, Allah is God, not you. Right? Then he said, Fa'budni, worship. And the people sometimes misunderstood the word worship. Worship always limited into salah, fasting. Right? Everything that will have to do with wajib is considered worship. When you pray, you have to wear what? A cloth, right? So that means to produce the fabric is worship, right? To plant the tree for that also worship, right? Now, when you are fasting, you have to break your fast. You have to do the suhoor, right? So to produce bread, also what? It's worship. Even marry in Islam, you have relation with your wife as worship because you're going to produce generation. They're going to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So that's general meaning of worship. Right? So therefore, why Rasulullah said, when somebody a man was very strong, he was passed by Rasulullah. His companion said, I wish this man used his power for jihad. Rasulullah said, look, if this man go to the market now, to do the trade business to protect his family, that's jihad. Right? Another hadith said, if you walk and you sweat, that sweat will wash out to the sin. Right? One day he saw a man, his name Mu'ad bin Jabal, his hand was very rough. They say, why? Because he used to cultivate the land, the soil. Rasulullah kissed it. This is the hand that Allah loves. It's worship. Right? So therefore, then he mentioned special worship. وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي. Establish salat for my remembrance. He didn't say pray. Aqim means establish, steadfast. That means you have to follow the condition of salat. You have to steadfast in salat, not just pray sometimes, sometimes not. You have to also knowing the time of salat and many things. And if you study all the prophets, the only obligatory mention is salat always there. Prophet Nuh, وَأَمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Even Isa alayhi salam, when he was baby, وَأَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ, asked me to pray. Not zakat, not fasting, there's nothing there. Salat always have the same salat, right? There is salat. Why is it? Because number one, this is the pillar of what you call of the deen. As-salatu imam deen, right? Pillar of deen. That's number one. Number two, anything else, sometimes you're not supposed to do it if you cannot. When you pay zakat, you have money. Million people have money, zakat. Fasting, if you are too old or you are sick, you did not fast. Or you're traveling. But when you cannot fast, when that you're allowed to abandon salat? When? No? When? Oh, I couldn't stand up. Sit down. I can sit down. What? Lie down. Even if you cannot lie down, moving, well, you cannot be blink your eyes. Ruku, sujud, subhanallah. Right? Subhanallah. So therefore, why the status of salat is very high? Because when Allah prescribe anything, He always send Jibril alayhi salam. Muhammad tell Jibril, Jibril tell Muhammad to fast, to pay zakat, to do hajj. But for salat, he need to invite him. Where? Over there. Subhanallah. That's the status of salat, how salat is important. And the hadith said when somebody died, the first thing Allah will ask what? About salat. Right? If salat complete, inshallah the rest is complete. Even the last word when a soul going to die. As-salah, as-salah, as-salah. And also the first, in the hadith said, when your kid reached the age of 7, ask them salat. He didn't say zakat, nothing there. Right? Yeah. So therefore, salat, instead said, وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِ, to remember me. Allah knows we have no weakness. We always forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make 5 times a day? Because most people, after Fajr, you forget business. Allah say, come. Dohar. Right? And also, it said, there is no God but me, because me, when Allah obligates something, right, not for his benefit. Anybody in the world, when they make rule, right, they ask do something for what? For their benefit. The government something make rule, look at it. But Allah was Allah benefit. No maslaha Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He asked us to pray because you need to pray. Because you need him. Right? Do you think Allah will cry, oh, nobody pray? No. I said that to you. Yeah? Yeah. So that's Asar for today, because almost going to pray Asar here. Let me do summary.
Summary. Surah Taha is the 20th chapter of the Qur'an. It was revealed in Makkah and consists of 135 verses. The chapter is named Taha because it starts with these Arabic letters. Surah Taha covers several themes, including the story of Prophet Musa, the message of the Quran, and the importance of faith and obedience to God. It encourages listeners to have faith, seek guidance from God, and warns against rejecting the message of the Quran. The chapter also addresses other topics such as God's call to Moses, the exodus of the Israelites, and the worship of the golden calf.
Yeah, so inshallah we will continue. It's a very interesting surah. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, surah focus that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the Quran is to make what? Happy. It means the key of happiness is following Quran. Right? And then Allah asks us to learn a lot of story from Prophet Musa because they have connection with us, inshallah. Right? Okay, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi jalatika. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وقنا النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك التواب الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين.